Welcome to the Art of Discrimination Self-Defense podcast series, Chapter 3, Informal EEO Complaint Filing. The real deal on what to do and not do when you initiate the filing of an EEO discrimination complaint. I'm your host, Randy Williams. In this podcast, we will discuss the informal filing of an EEO discrimination complaint based on your race, color, religion, sex, disability, national origin, age, and/or reprisal for prior EEO-related activity for both the public and private sectors. In this chapter, we're going beyond the basic EEO information that you could normally obtain from your organization or EEOC when you file a complaint. We will go deeper into understanding how the informal filing system works so you can defend yourself and not be taken advantage of. Our mission is to share impactful knowledge that in effect helps people overcome the oppression of unlawful discrimination, because unlawful discrimination must be stopped. Hello. So you believe you've been subjected to unlawful discrimination in your workplace. You've started to compile your evidence as we discussed in Chapter 2, and you've decided to file an EEO discrimination complaint. Note, if you work in the federal sector, you have 45 days from the latest discrimination incident or your awareness to file that EEO complaint. If you're in the private sector, you have 300 days from the latest discrimination incident or your awareness to file that EEO complaint. The filing process in both the public and private sectors are similar in that you would go through an intake process. The intake process requires two things. First, your contact information, like name, address, and phone numbers. Second, your complaint information, your basis, the reason you believe you've been singled out, the issue, what discriminatory thing happened that harmed you, and requested relief, what you want to happen as a result. As you proceed, remember, trust no one in the EEO system. Just because their title is intake specialist, counselor, mediator, investigator, understand that the odds are stacked against you because all of those individuals work for the organization, not you. Don't be naive in thinking that they're there to help you. Their primary goal is to make your case go away, one way or another. It's not personal. It's reality that the EEO system is overwhelmed, underfunded, and there are built-in incentives to eliminate your case so you get nothing. Don't expect them to argue and make your case for you. You must make the EEO case for yourself, and you must remain vigilant that you are not misled by anyone who claims to be there to help, but they're really helping the organization you're filed against. If you check my bio page, you will see a phone number that you can call for free initial consultation. I can help you clarify your complaint. Now, regarding your complaint information, be careful on what evidence you share during the informal filing process. Evidence presented during informal filing is not protected. Within minutes, management can learn what your case is about. Then, with the aid of the organization, including labor relations, civil rights, and legal offices, create arguments and evidence to defend against your complaint while you're waiting for weeks for your case to move forward. Your best evidence, including names of witnesses, key documents, etc., should not be shared until your case reaches the formal stage, where the case would be properly investigated under oath with penalties for perjury. Only at the formal stage would your evidence be recorded in a protected way. Trust me, I've seen many instances where management used the advantage of gaining all of the complaint information in advance before a formal investigation to undermine that complaint. Suddenly, documents are changed or fabricated, new justifications to mask discrimination are developed, and other manipulations. They don't want you to know or believe this, but it is true. For example, if you name witnesses during the informal stage, there's a very good chance that management will talk to those witnesses before they can formally testify, and suddenly your witnesses have changed their story, no longer supporting your case. Records and/or justification can be changed during the informal stage. Be smart and basic in sharing your information and evidence in the initial stage. Also, be sure your contact information is up to date so no one in the EEO process can say they couldn't reach you and use that to excuse eliminating your case. After you give your personal contact information and complaint summary, the EEO intake person should ask you if you want to remain anonymous. Say no, because being anonymous in the EEO complaint process never works well. They'll ask if you're interested in mediation. I will probably discuss mediation in Chapter 4 of the Art of Discrimination Self-Defense, but the short answer is yes. Always agree to mediation. It is your best chance for a prompt resolution of your case and/or understanding of where management is coming from. In the private sector, if mediation is declined or fails to resolve the case, the EEOC will conduct a limited investigation. Then you will be given the choice of filing your case in court. In the public or federal sector, if mediation is declined or fails, you will have the final interview with an EEO counselor, and that counselor should give you a document which authorizes you to formally file your EEO complaint so it can get properly investigated. I will discuss that step, formal filing, in Chapter 5. Don't be intimidated by the informal process. The intake person or counselor does not have the authority to dismiss your complaint. You are in control and have rights to basically register your informal EEO complaint for subsequent EEO processing. The intake person or counselor is only there to provide you with documentation on the EEO process, including your rights and responsibilities, to do a limited inquiry on your case, and make an attempt to resolve your case. If that case is not resolved, then they authorize you via written documentation to take the case to the formal level for proper, comprehensive investigation work. I know I'm covering a lot of information very quickly, so I recommend, if you have the time, that you Google and read the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission Management Directive 110, EEOC MD 110. It is an internal resource book used by EEO workers and experts in the field. The first page is the index, which shows individual, easy-to-read chapters on virtually every aspect of the EEO process. You see, the EEOC is responsible for enforcement of the EEO system processes. The EEOC MD 110 is the blueprint or Bible of those EEOC processes, showing how the different steps are supposed to work. This knowledge is normally not even mentioned to complainants. I am letting you in on a well-kept secret. Regardless of whatever documentation you receive in the informal process, the best source of enlightenment about how the process should work is through the EEOC MD 110. This way, you can begin to understand how the entire EEO process is supposed to work in bite-sized chunks. I use the word supposed to because sometimes organizations don't always follow the rules. Remember, knowledge is power, and the Art of Discrimination Self-Defense is here to share knowledge and show you how to use that power to be effective in the EEO process. In the future, with your support, I will offer webinars to increase your sophistication in the EEO process. That concludes our Chapter 3 episode. In Chapter 4, we will discuss mediation, including ADR, what to expect, and strategies for mediation success. Thanks for listening, and please share with others. Now here's Angelia Williams, production manager for our Art of Discrimination Self-Defense audio podcast series. She will show you how to support our efforts in fighting unlawful discrimination. Take care of yourself.
Hope you've enjoyed the show. If you'd like to support our efforts or have any questions, you're welcome to write to randy@randymwilliams.com. You may also write or send donations to Randy Williams, 805 South Glen Street, Suite 127-183, Fayetteville, Georgia 30214. Thank you.